What's up guys, it's Ben from Living Survival, and today I got the Worksharp guided sharpener system, so stick with me. If you're unfamiliar with the gauntlet, basically it's about 10 channels that get product from manufacturers, and usually they only send us one and we send it on down the line, and therefore we can, use a different skill set throughout each different channel, and we can also see the progress of the actual item and how well it holds up through 10 different reviewers. In this case it's a little bit different. Worksharp sent us all our own individual Worksharp to test out and show to you because they really wanted us to grasp how easy it is right out of the box, and they figured down the line you might get a little bit different outcome being the 8th, 9th, or 10th user than the first user right out of the box. So my video today is going to be a gauntlet review, and it's going to be basically taking it out of the box and showing you how super simple it is to sharpen just about any blade with the Worksharp guided sharpener system. Okay, so this is how the system comes from Worksharp. Now we got the guided sharpening system in this box here, and then we have the upgrade kit. Now of course the upgrade kit is separate, but it does come with an additional coarse, a plate, a fine plate, and then a leather strap. So we'll definitely take a look at that in a moment. But I basically just wanted to show you how super simple this is right out of the box. So basically we just open up the box here, and first off you have this really nice pamphlet here, which really has a lot of detail on it. It goes through how to set your system up, what all the different parts are, and then it goes through what sort of tools you can sharpen, from straight edge blades to serrated blades, and you can even take the plates off and sharpen tools. It goes through how to sharpen the knife, and it tells you when you want to lock it or unlock it depending on if you're using a straight blade or a curved blade. It tells you how to go ahead and hone the knife after you've sharpened it. And then on the back is another really nice diagram that tells you, depending on which style of blade you have, recurve, tanto, Wharncliffe, sheep's foot, drop point, clip point, spear point. It tells you, what you want to use as the pivot. It gives you a little formula here, how many strokes, what grit, and things like that. So a lot of different things on this pamphlet, including best techniques and helpful tips. So this alone is a super handy guide to have if you're unfamiliar with sharpening knives, or even if you are familiar with sharpening knives. It shows you how to use the system effectively. So looking at the system itself here, we've got the main platform to the system. We can take the plate holder off of here, and then you have basically just the sharpening platform. Now on the bottom of this you have really nice rubberized feet that allow it not to slip on the surface that you put it on. Then you've got these 17 and 20 degree angle guides here, which can be flipped upside down. You can put it in the 20 degree position, or you can flip it upside down for a 17 degree position. Now if you're doing just basic general outdoors knives and things like that, you're going to want to use the 20 degree. The 17 degree is more for kitchen cutlery and things like that. Then you also have the pivot response lock here, which locks the plate holder. When we set the plate holder in here, you can see how it curves, and that basically matches the profile of the blade. For straight blades, you can lock this pivot here, and then it won't allow it to curve when you're sharpening your blade. So again, very customizable with the different angles and the lock or unlock on the plate holder itself. Also on the plate holder here is where you would put your different grits here. This has an extra fine plate that comes on it, and these are magnetic, so it's very easy just to slip those right onto the plate holder here, and they won't go anywhere, which is really nice. So it also comes with this ceramic rod attachment that you can put down into the system instead of the plate holder. It comes with a ceramic rod on top that can be put into 3 different positions, including fish hook. You just rotate the little dial here. Then on the sides of it you also get another small ceramic rod and a medium ceramic rod, which are great for serrations. The way you use the ceramic rods is you just pull off the plate there, and then the ceramic rod holder just fits right down in there where the plate was, and you can continue to sharpen using the same angle guides on each side. So if you don't go for the upgrade kit, you do get a couple of stones that come with the kit. You get a coarse and an extra fine, which will really do the job for the majority of blades that you have. So before we look at the upgrade kit, let's do some sharpening with the system itself. So you really can just pull this right out of the box and start sharpening. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna set this for the 20-degree angle. You just clip these right onto each side of the platform. Then I'm gonna take the magnetic plate holder here, and for this knife, I'm gonna start with the fine stone because it's a relatively new knife, and I really don't need to start with the coarse grit. So I'm gonna stick the fine plate on there, and I'm gonna be sharpening up a Mora stainless steel and show you just how easy it is to do. So with our angle guides already in place there, basically you just set the knife right on that angle, and then you're gonna wanna use perpendicular strokes. You don't wanna go at an angle either way. You don't wanna adjust your angle this way. You just wanna lay it right on the 20-degree guide there, and then you just wanna, smoothly just glide it across the stone. Now you don't wanna run off the edge. You don't wanna get into the habit of going like that off the edge of the plate. You just wanna do a smooth motion all the way across the stone. Now again, on the pamphlet that they give you, there is formulas for different knife types and things like that, and you can follow the formulas. Or if you've sharpened before, that's a great thing about this system is you can start in the middle with any grit that you want, and you can really adjust it to your own sharpening style, which I find is great. So we can do a couple more strokes here. I'm just going to do about 8. And I'm just maintaining that angle all the way across, and I'm keeping my blade perpendicular to the plate. Then what we're going to do is we're going to check for a burr. So you just want to run your finger across the back side there, and there is a burr. I can feel it on there. Sometimes you can take your nail, and if your nail stops on the end there, which it's doing right there, I can feel that there's a burr on there. So once you got a burr, I'm just going to go from the other side, and I'm going to do the same amount of strokes. So I'm going to do about 8 strokes from this side. And again, I'm just going to keep it perpendicular, and I'm just going to run it across the stone. Now you can probably see when I get down to the curve in the blade there, the plate is actually turning just a little bit, and that's because I have it unlocked. If you were doing a straight blade, you could lock the plate and then it won't turn on you at all. But since this blade does have a curve on the end of it, I want it to curve with my blade. And what that means is that you don't have to, you don't have to play with the angle at the end. If you're sharpening on a regular stone, generally once you get to the end, you kind of got to curve it off, and you got to adjust your angle to sharpen the tip of the blade. And I don't find that to be the case with this pivoting plate. So we'll do a couple more here. And again, I'm just laying it flat right on that guide there, the 20-degree guide, so that I know which angle to take, and I'm just maintaining that all the way across the plate. You can see that I'm not pushing hard at all. I'm just letting the stone do the work. So already, that is an insanely sharp edge. So just with the 2 plates that come with the standard kit, the fine and the coarse, you can definitely get a nice sharp blade. And of course, my blade was in pretty good shape, so I only used the fine, but you can see that it will give you a nice sharp edge. And then of course, if our blade did have some nicks or something in that, we could have started with the coarse, do the same thing, 8 to 10 strokes on one side, get that burr, then 8 to 10 on the other side to remove the burr, and then you can follow up with a couple strokes alternating positions on the plate. So it works the same for folding knives. I got the Kershaw link here. Just start at one edge and just run it across. Now you don't have to do this quickly or anything. You can just take your time. I'm going to do about 8 strokes. And again, this blade's in pretty good condition. I'll do a couple strokes on the other side. So after we're done sharpening, we want to hone our blade. So we can take out the plate holder there, and we can put in the ceramic rod, and we just turn that to the flat section. Now the ceramic rod itself has its own guide, so it doesn't really matter which guides you have on the outside. So then we just want to start on that guide there and just again run our blade across the rod. Now this one you do want to alternate. So I'm just going to do about 5 or 6 strokes alternating. And again, just take your time, apply light pressure, keep your blade perpendicular. And then this blade should be nice and sharp. Grab some paper here, and you can see that we're back to a super sharp edge. Now the bottom of this leveling plate also works as a handle, so if you had like garden tools or something, you could sharpen them that way, just by putting whatever grit plate you want on there, and then sharpening, holding the plate itself in your hand and sharpen that way. So for a blade with serrations like this Bushcraft Black, with the serrations there, you want to match the size of the ceramic rod to the serrations. So for this knife I could use the medium ceramic rod. Again, you have a medium and a small, and then up top you have a rotating dial which rotates it between a coarse, a fine, and then one for fish hooks. So for this I could use the medium ceramic rod here, and what I would do is just run it across the ceramic rod a couple times, again until you create a burr on the one side, then flip it over and do the other side. And again, that's where this guide really comes in. It's going to tell you how to do serrations, it's going to tell you how to do tools, as well as tell you a good general guide for how many strokes you want to do depending on the style of your knife. So if you want to take your sharpening one step farther, I recommend getting this upgrade kit. Now in this kit you get an extra coarse for those really damaged blades. You get an extra fine for taking the fine that comes with the standard kit up to another level. It's an 800 grit extra fine, and then you also get a leather strop. So you can really dial in your blades using this upgrade kit. Again, I really like the fact that they've organized everything. On the back of this, they tell you how to set up your leather strop, and then of course on the front of it, they give you this little holder for the 3 different plates, your coarse, your fine, and then of course your leather strop here. A couple of other things that come in the box are some petroleum jelly, some little rubbing compound, and then some 25-degree angle guides for when you're using the leather strop. So the unique thing about this leather strap is that it goes on the exact same way as the individual grits do. It goes right on to the plate here. Now to use the leather strap, you're going to want to use the included 25-degree bevel. So in order to install those, you just take off the angle guides that came with it. Now again, you have 22 is already installed on here. If you can see that, it says 22. You can't take that off. That would again be for kitchen knives and things like that. But since we're using outdoor knives, we want to put on the 25 degree plates, and those just click in just like the other ones do. Now again, you can see that this plate won't move. It's got those rubber feet on the bottom of it, so that makes it super nice. Then once we have those installed, we can just go ahead and click our leather strap on there. Now they give you a little bit of petroleum jelly. You don't want to use water or anything on these stones, so definitely don't use any water on the regular stones. Now you can use warm water to rinse them out once they get a bunch of metal in them, but you're just going to take a very thin coat of this petroleum jelly here and put it on the leather strap. And I just use a very thin coat. And just kind of coat it very lightly there. And then you can take your rubbing compound and you can just rub that into the leather a little bit. And I'll just take my finger and kind of smooth it out. And then your leather strap is set up and ready to go. So on the stones, you're actually cutting against the stone so that it cuts off the steel and makes your knife nice and sharp. For this, you're going to go the opposite direction. So you don't want to cut into the leather at all. You want to go the opposite direction. And it makes it very easy with these guides here because as long as you're matching it up to the guide, you're not going to run the risk of going this way because there's no guide that way. So you just, again, you hold it on the guide here and just run it right across the leather strop, the same exact way that you sharpen the knife, keeping it perpendicular, and just run it right across the strop. So then you would just flip the knife over and do it from the opposite side. And again, light pressure. You just want the material to do the work. Every time I'm doing this, I'm running it across that angle guide there so that I'm making sure to keep my angle correct. So once you've done about 10 or so strokes on either side, you can take a paper towel and just wipe some of that compound off there, and what you're left with is an insanely sharp, razor popping edge on your blade. So I hope you guys can see just how super simple this system is right out of the box. Now this is a gauntlet review, so I'm going to put links to all the other gauntlet channels below so that you can check out their take on the Worksharp guided sharpening system. So guys, of course I'm going to put a link up in the corner here to Amazon where you can find out more about this product and price, and also pick one up for yourself. Especially with the upgrade kit, it makes it super simple and anyone can do this right out of the box from Worksharp. Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed this video today. Please give it a big thumbs up. Leave me some comments below. Make sure you share this on all your social media, Google+, Twitter, and Facebook. And as always guys, subscribe for more videos.